Okay guys, what I'm doing right now, I'm doing a dry run setup on this guitar, this Cordova, and I'm trying to get these, and I'm using these little erasers to help spread that pressure out all the way out to the edge. I can't get a fingernail underneath these edges this way, all the way around, but what they do, they allow me to put pressure on the spot, but it spreads the pressure. And it's not abrasive like plastic will dig into the finish. Plastic will dig into the wood itself. So I found these to be the best possible of all worlds to use. Of course, this back is just a leveler, basically. Keeps the braces level so you don't cock one up, have one above the other, have it slide. Once you've got the glue set, and what I'll try to do is bring this forward just a hair to help hide the missing wood that got pulled away when this thing got ripped up, which will leave a little tiny line back here, which I can fill that in with color rather than trying to putty up the front. But I'll have to see how that works. All I have to do is elongate the hole underneath here to let this pickup move forward just a little bit, so I can move this whole thing a bit without crimping the pickup wire. So I get everything shaved, everything's prepped. I'm going to go back over one more time, clean off all that extra glue on the back of this bridge, and make sure it's all clean, because once I put that glue on there, that's that. And I want to make sure these edges get down nice and tight. And I can't get a fingernail underneath it now, except for the front that has that big divot in it. But other than that, it's ready to go. I think once I pull this thing forward and get leveled up and do all my measurements, it should be just fine. But what I'll be measuring off of is the scale of this guitar, and make sure that everything's lined up accordingly. So hang in there, guys. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to move that entire bridge forward just a micro hair to cover this nasty stuff here, and level up the back with some work. And to do that, I've got to bring this pickup forward. I got to open up this hole a little bit, so I've covered it with a lot of tape so it doesn't fall back down in the hole, because I can't get my arm down in this hole. It's just impossible. And what you need to do this job is a very, very, very sharp X-Acto knife and a pretty much steady hand. Now, normally you would use a reamer, just get in there and open that hole up, but I can't get the darn thing back out again if I push the pickup down in it. And I just need to bring it forward just a little bit, not much. Just don't cut anything but the wood. And of course, no one will ever see this, they'll never know about it except for the video. There won't be any damage to this guitar at all. Let me tilt this so you can see what I'm talking about, guys. So what I did, I just put a little bit of a notch in here to open this up, and I'll open it just a little bit more to get the circumference of that pickup wire through the front of it. That way I can bring the entire thing forward along with the bridge and cover this mess up so you don't see it no longer. And the tapes to make sure that this pickup doesn't fall down inside the guitar and I have to string it through later on. That would be nightmarish. I guarantee you that'd be a nightmare, because my hands are way too big, and well, most adults' hands are too big to get inside these Spanish guitars. Okay, so now I got the hole enlarged. I'm still going to be very careful with that pickup wire, and put it through the bridge, pull it forward, and see how much I can cover this area right here. Sorry, guys. See how much of this area I can cover right here. Just go over the top of it and be level with what's behind it, with the glue up. All right. As you can see, it just wants to fall right in now. And there's a stopping point for this little jewel right there. I don't want to go further than that. So I won't pull it any further than that. I'll be stopped by the bridge itself. So hang in there, guys, while I get the tape off and put the pickup through the saddle. All right, if you look, there's just barely a tiny bit of screw up left on the bridge part itself. And that's what you're going to see. The front part is completely covered now. It's just the back part is going to have this little tiny bit I can fill in with a touch-up pin that StewMac provides. Let's try and get a better angle at this. Whoopsie. There's a better angle at it. You can't hardly see, but just some scratches on the back of it. And of course, I'll keep that level. And once it's finished gluing up, I'll touch that one little spot up there, a couple spots up front up with the markers, right? But in the meantime, I can't glue anything because it's the wrong temperatures out right now. It's just too cold. So this gets a couple of pieces of tape over it. Hold it in place. Keep that pickup from falling down in it. And back on the stands and back into the office it goes. I'm going to wait for a nice afternoon and evening where the temperature's better with the glue set up. And if it doesn't happen the next few days, I'm going to go ahead and bring it on the inside in my office and do it there where the temperature's controlled, but where it's much harder to do anything work anymore. I don't do any work in my office anymore on guitars, and it's tough to bring everything I need inside there to do the job. So, okay guys, this is a continuation of the glue-up job for the bridge for the Guitarba, and I just want to show you the tools I'll be using. And I'm doing this in my office because the temperature is just not cooperating. I've been trying to get 2 days of 65 degrees with no freezing in between and low humidity, and that's not going to happen this time of year. Before that, it was just, you know, it was the last one in line to do, and by the time I got to it, the temperature had gone bad. So I'll be using Elmer's Wood Bond, which is, you know, very, very good glue. It's like Type Bond, same material, same type glue. I'll be using 6 pieces of eraser. You'll see what for later. I'll be using a little small scale, a larger scale, and my T-square to make sure that this bridge is on, even and true. And I'll be using these deep C leveling clamp biases to hold it in place while it sets up. Now, normally setup on Elmer's is about a day, 24 hours, and you're there. But this this is going to remain in my office for 2 days minimum before I release it, or even put strings on it to check it to make sure everything's okay. But I'll be checking it in between time, in the meantime. And what I've done so far to the guitar, I've gone ahead, and of course you saw the work I did on it to release the bridge so it can be, you know, easier to move about and, you know, place it nicer on the body so that showing the scars. And I've gone ahead and I've loosened up the truss rod about a half turn to you know, have it not be bowed by being too tight while it sits there with no strings on it. Okay, so there we have it. We're ready to start this up in my office. Yeah, the lighting's a little bit funky, but that's what I've got. And the reason I'm doing it in my office, like I said before, the weather's just not cooperating. Even my glue is not cooperating. I'm trying to get it to warm up some. I'll let that sit for a couple hours in my office temperature and near the additional heater I put in here, which is kind of like really tropical in right now. I'm kind of almost sweating, but it's like 29 degrees outside, and that's just not going to happen. Inside the house, right now my office is 75 degrees, and I'm hot, and I'm kind of, you know, miserable. But that's what it's going to take to do this job. Set it up with nice dry heat, apply it, you know, get it on there, and what I'll do is one more time dry fit it and show you the results of it and go from there. But hang in there, guys. We'll let this glue do its thing, get warmed up and ready to rock and roll. That could be a couple of hours. Don't want to put heat to it or put it in like a double boiler or anything, because that just, you know, could change the electric structure of the glue. You don't want to, you know, put a lot of heat to it. So this glue, like I've been telling people for years, the same exact type glue as Type Bond. the regular formula, and it works extremely well with wood on wood. It does not fill huge gaps. That's not the case here. We got a nice tight fit, and it'll do the trick. So I got a new bottle of wood glue, and waiting for it to warm up with the room. So hang in there, guys. Alright, one of the things I want to show you is I'll be using this particular type of glue remover called D-Glue Goo. It works pretty good on water base, which is Elmer's and Tide Bond, and removes it nicely. Doesn't mess up your poly finish, and that's important when you have a lot of over glue, which I will be doing. I will be pressing it out with these vices out past the bridge level. I'll wipe up the majority of it, but over a period of time, some will come out that I don't want to mess with. I just want to get the edge of it off so that I don't mess with the bond or anything, move anything around. So that's another little tool in the toolbox, guys. D-Glue Goo, the brown, the white bottle, and the blue print. Something to keep in mind when you're doing this type of work. So hang in there, guys, while we do a setup on this. The temperature of the D-Glue, it's still as cold as ice. It's still active, no problem there. But the Elmer's is just now getting kind of warm. Still going to need some time, and man, I need to get out of my office for a while. It's just too hot in here for me. Put on some different clothes, some shorts or something. So hang in there, guys. Alright, these are my measure up lines that I'll be using. And this one's slightly moved. That should be just touching that top of that green line like this. Like that, the edge. Right, it should be just touching it. On the other side too, on the far side edge, on this side edge. Be proper with the saddle. And I've got a secondary measuring area. You see the exact distance of this little spot here, this showing spot that the wood pulled up, and this corner here. You can see where the wood stopped pulling up. Right there, you see it edge there. You can see it better up here. And I'll have those equal distance apart. Measure from there as well. You get a true measurement where this bridge should be. And from all I can tell, the bridge was not glued in the right spot to begin with. It's like 2 millimeters off. Like, wow, from its original position. So I can get this little back line here, so I can fill that in with a paint stick. Right, slack a paint stick, and hide this really nasty part up here. You see, right? Hide that up. So that's what we're working with. Trying to hide that up, make sure it sticks. Make sure the temperature in this room is constant, doesn't drop down below 70 degrees, and keep this very dry in here. And we're still waiting for the glue and the degluer to warm up to room temperature. They're still rather cold, but once we get that done, we'll get the glue on there, get the vices going, and get those set up, and let's see what it looks like while it's setting up and curing. Now I have all three C-clamps in there resting on their leveling braces right at the moment, which is no big deal. Take this down a bit. Those kind of level each other. And I know just how much I have to come up on these things to do it right. But I'll start out even like this so I won't have to bounce around and move about when I put the glue on. And I don't want this to be obstructed when I put that glue on there. But I'm going to tape that. Sorry guys, I'm going to tape that pickup at the end of it to make sure it doesn't fall through just as I'm putting this together. I don't want that to happen. So hang in there while I get some tape around that to protect it. Okay, and here's what we want, guys. We want this glue to be just as free-flowing as possible, and that's what it is now. It's room temperature. We're going to just go ahead and move that all around, add a little bit as we go. We got plenty on that. So fill up all the area. A little bit extra over. Now remember, I got this glue remover for anything that comes out is, you know, pressed out, which I do want to see some press out on this. Okay. Then we're just going to dribble some on this top. I like cross like this. Make sure that nice and spread. Make sure we get those edges. Alright, now that's the fun part. Now that's where we get this thing spotted right. Right where we want it. Just that extra glue off of there. So I'll come back to do it later. Sorry guys, my hand's in the way, but I gotta do this. This extra glue off here. And we're gonna have some on the press out as well. I just want to get the majority of it off now while I can. Sure I got this on the right line here. Like that. That's where I want to be. Now, take some measurements. Alright, I'm right on it. Okay, so now's the time to put the pressure down. Make sure I got a nice level pressure on this. And see that glue run out just like that. Make that level. Try to get this line back here proper. There. Alright. That glue off the top, we're going to pressure this. Middle one out of the way. Balancing ones are there just to keep the thing level, allow me to put the pressure down, up and down, straight on this thing where it belongs. And the center one should be the clincher on this. Okay, so now it's time to do the center one and get this thing rolling. Right, I'm going to do the back part of the center one, back where the strings come through and not on the bridge itself and cause a crack. We'll go on the solidmost piece of the part. Get that level up going real quick and get in there and get that extra glue out of there. The trick is not to put too much pressure on these things and have it crack on you, because it can, because this thing's in bad shape as far as the area for the saddle. I was really concerned about taking any wood away at all where that this crack took place, because that was super thin there. Underneath this bridge is super thin. So it's kind of really a concern of mine that we may have issues, but I'm trying my best to get this glued properly and save as much wood as I can to help support this bridge. I don't want it pulling off again. I don't want it to crack through either, which is a really concern with this right now. You know, crack through, that's what we don't want. Sooner or later, get all that extra glue off of there and out of there. And this is going to take about 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours to set up. Then I'll come back through with a nice little staining pencil, pen, that I've got to color this. So you got that extra glue out there. Get in there with this. I'll get some of that off of there. Plastic part won't cause any problems. Yeah, that's perfect. There we go. If you can see it or not, guys, this is a perfect setup on this now. For it to set up and do its glue job. Right there, like that. Now, there may be a little more press out as it cures, but it shouldn't be. And if it is, going to be just the tiniest of amounts. There. Okay, well, she's all set up. Next thing to do is just wait and see what the final results are. go from there. Oh man. And we got plenty of extra glue on this thing, that's for sure. I'll get that off, that glue off once it's dried up a little. But there you have it. Like I said, this will not be moving for the next 24 hours, except just get out of my way. It will remain on this table, just so I can see it flat and nice and safe. Get rid of this glue, put it up, and make sure nothing bangs into this, like my dogs or my kids. That's the only thing tough about being in the office. The kids are rowdy and the dogs are rowdy, and that can create a problem. I just want to get that out of our way into a safe spot. So there you have it, guys. That's it for a while. Let's come back when we string it up and test it, make sure it's all set up and cured properly. Now, yeah, it's possible that even though it's put on there proper and everything's done properly, it could move as it cures. Microscopically, you know, just tiny amount, but it can move. I've seen it happen. But we'll go from there and see what else we have to do to it once it's, you know, set up and cured. And right now it looks pretty good, I think. Pretty good job on this. You see, pretty good job, nice and straight and level with the body and with the fretboard. So I think we got a winner here, guys. But you know, like I told you, never can tell. Things do move, and these are all leveled up along with these vices are leveled up according to the level of the guitar, not according to the level of the stand that it's sitting on. You know what I'm saying? The same plane as this. Make sure it's level. So those should be fine. So hang in there, guys. We'll check it once it's finished drying up in about 24 hours. Alright, 24 hours have passed, and excuse the noise, guys. I'm in my office desk chair. It's in my work stool, and I've got the heater still going on in here till the very last minute to take these things off. So here we go. We're going to remove the clamps, right? Those off, and you're going to remove the excess glue on the body and around the joint that we glued up. We're going to check for any voids. Those do happen, especially on a cleanup job. But this bridge is for sure down and tight to this body. I guarantee you that. It's going nowhere. So what we want to do is gently and easily remove these items. And see the excess glue on there? Get that off there. Get that removed. And get these levelers up and out of our way, and get these clamps out of the guitar. Alright. Slowly and carefully so we don't do any scarring or banging into anything. Like that. And I knew I'd have some excess glue on here to remove. So I have that glue remover here in my office. Still, it's heated. Room temperature. Like I said, about 70 degrees in here still. It's kind of hot to me, but I want this thing to cure 100%. And this one's going to be stubborn. There we go. Alright. Sorry if my arm's in the way, guys. I just gotta get these out of here. I don't want to touch the surface of the guitar with the top of that clamp. Okay, now those are out. The pressure pads are gone, and you're looking at the glue up job with all the nasty stuff left over. Okay. And what I've got a warm, damp cloth. I'm just going to get that excess glue off the guitar. I won't be doing a polish up, and I won't be removing all of it. Okay, I'm just gonna get the surface glue off I can, and then go with the glue goo, or the goo be gone, or the thicker stuff. Now, invariably, this glue up type job I did, there are voids underneath the very edges of this bridge, which will not affect the integrity of this glue at all, this glue up job. Alright, I think that's about all I can do for the cloth. And to finish this job up, I'll be using a dye pen to put the color back where it's missing on the very edge of this. And excuse my voice, guys, I'm just overcoming the croup I came down with here recently. Like I said, I'm just trying to get the sorry, I'm just trying to get all the excess easy to remove type stuff without using it as a sanding mechanism on the finish. Now get that dried off. We'll inspect it here and see what we have left to remove with the glue be gone stuff. Oh man, my voice is still cracking. Of course, we have the nice blob of it here on the bridge. You gotta get that off, and some larger pieces on the other part. But this will all come off. Then we'll polish it up and set it up. And any type of void that I see that I think that would need some attention, I brought in to the office with me a nice little device for taking care of that problem. And it's called a large syringe. Okay. What you do, you fill up the tip of this syringe, not the end of the body. You fill up the tip of it with, you know, it's the same glue, same Elmer's. You go through it and you fill any void that you see, and let that dry for 24 hours without any bracing on it. But you'll make sure not to remove it once you put it on there. But this bridge is done. It's not going anywhere. It's just cleaning up the job afterwards. It needs to be done, and I can see some voids underneath this, and that's due to the glue that I removed when I used my finger and another towel to get the excess glue off here. I pulled some out with the towel from out from under the bridge, so that's got to be put back. Make it look nice. Well, this makes no difference to the integrity of the seal. It just will look nicer once I do it and set it up. Plus, we get a chance to see how this works with the syringe with the Elmer's glue. So hang in there, guys. We'll set that up to do that. Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and we just finished working on the control. We're putting a new bridge on it. Hey, introduce yourself and tell us about your guitar.
Hey, it's Bubba from Burleson. We met via Facebook on the musicians group. That was pretty cool. Found him online. He promised a free setup. I need to go beyond that. We had to do some bridge work here. Totally replaced, re-glued and reset this. Got a nice, you know, low action setup on my brand new strings here. We brought it up to tune. It's not quite there yet. It's a little humid outside, so it's now a player when before it was junk. So I'm really happy with the work that David's done. I appreciate him.
It's going to go
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It's going to go in and out of tune because it's weather. You know how that works. Yeah. The new strings and the humidity so high. Oh yeah, let's hear it, dude.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Thanks very much. Guys, any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye.